There are rumors swirling that Giannis Antetokounmpo may want out of Milwaukee, and he wants to win, and he wants to win now. So if I were a Bucks GM, one of the first calls I would be making would definitely be to Sam Presti and the Oklahoma City Thunder. They have a ton of assets. They have incredible draft picks, starting with the Clippers, unprotected first round draft pick this year. They have the Clippers pick swap the following year, and a ton of other draft picks as well. They also have great talent, young guys, starting with Chet, J Dub, AJ Mitchell, Isaiah Hartenstein, even guys that we haven't seen yet in Topic and Sorber. Those could be great talents that teams would be interested in. And then there are great trading pieces of kind of elite role players who would be really great for a team that is kind of retooling or starting over. You know, Lou Dort is on a great contract, Isaiah Joe, Aaron Wiggins. So if I were a Bucks GM, I would definitely be making those kind of phone calls to Sam just to get a feel for if he would be interested at all. But the real question to me is, should the Thunder even consider a Giannis Antetokounmpo trade? And my opinion is no, absolutely not. Hello, my name is Nathan, and this is Thunder Up Talk. And today I'm going to give you 5 reasons why I think it's a terrible idea for the Thunder to even consider trading for Giannis Antetokounmpo. So, number one, we've already won an NBA championship. And on top of that, we are 21 and 1. We literally don't need anything else. And, you know, this isn't a team that's searching for answers. We are the team that people are trying to solve for. So when I think about it, we are already a winning team. We have already met our goal of winning a championship, and I think we're in the middle of winning a couple, maybe even a few. And why even mess with something that's working so well? Number two, I think the Bucks would require um, that either J Dub or Chet be in the trade for a guy like Giannis. Giannis is only 30, and he's a top five player for sure in the NBA. And for someone that good, you know, the Bucks are going to want a ton in return. So Chet's only 23, J Dub is only 24, and that would be an absolute no for me because you might get Giannis for 3 or 4 years of still really great prime years, but I'm not trading that for 10 years of J Dub's prime, 10 years of Chet's prime. There's just no way. Um, and on top of that, we don't even know how good J Dub can be or how good Chet can be. Could either one of those guys be a top five NBA player someday? Absolutely. I feel probably a little more strongly that Jalen Williams can be a top five player someday in the NBA. Like, I think he could be the MVP of the league someday when, if maybe Shai's a little bit older. Um, so I think that's his ceiling. I really do. And I at least want to find out if that's a possibility. And so there's just no way that I would trade either of those two guys for Giannis. Number three. So would Giannis even consider or would he accept not being the man? Would he accept the number two role? Um, Coming to Oklahoma City, like Shea is that guy. He is him, as the kids say these days. He he's just the face of the franchise. And I just question, would Giannis be okay with coming to a team and not being the number one option, not being the number one guy? He has led a championship to Milwaukee, and so he's a champion with a lot of pedigree. And, even for a guy that doesn't have a whole lot of drama, in Giannis, anytime you're that good, there is always a level of ego for sure. And I just don't want to find out if there would be some small chemistry issues, or maybe not even chemistry issues. Maybe it just wouldn't be a great fit. And I think it just complicates things potentially. and I don't want to find out about that. There's already um, a great hierarchy with the team. Shay's the guy, and then it's Dub and Chet, and everyone knows it. And I just think that's the way it should be. Number four, does Giannis actually guarantee improvement? So um, I do think for a year or two he could make the Thunder a little bit better in some ways. I'm not so sure it's a great fit though. So as a team, the Thunder already struggle shooting the ball from three. We've seen that at times, especially in the playoffs. And Giannis is not a great 3-point shooter. So I think taking away a Jalen Williams or a Chet who both shoot the three better than Giannis just makes no sense at all for starters. And then if we were to trade for Giannis, I think we would have to include someone else. I mean, he is that good. So it would take away from the depth of this team. And the depth of the Oklahoma City Thunder is like what makes them incredible. One of the reasons that makes them so incredible. And I just don't want to mess with that either. If Giannis happens to get hurt, then we're without a Giannis, and then we're without another piece that we traded away. Yeah, that may be a role player. So the team gets worse. And again, the depth is just something that I don't want to mess with at all. Number five, and I feel pretty passionate about this. It would just break the Thunder's identity. So they have done it the right way. They went out and got Shea early on. Um, he played for the Clippers his first year, but he's going to be remembered as an Oklahoma City Thunder. And they drafted Chet, they drafted J Dub, um, and they have just developed internally and done it internally this whole time. And you know, I think it would just hurt the franchise's legacy, like an authentic legacy. I'm proud as a fan of the way they've gone about doing business, how they built this team, kind of from the ground up, and I just think the organization, the Thunder, they would kind of take their legacy would take a hit, and I think it would potentially invite comparisons to the Steph KD Warriors, where they just went out and got a guy and it was way too easy, way too simple to win a championship. Um, and I just don't want to hear any of those narratives. The Oklahoma City Thunder fan base already have to deal with enough. And I just don't want to be compared to those Warriors that went out and got KD. So in my humble opinion, the Thunder absolutely shouldn't even consider a Giannis trade. I think the chances of Sam Presti considering a Giannis trade is like 0%. You just don't break up a dynasty or a potential dynasty in year two, and you don't sacrifice the future for a headline. So, um, at the end of the day, I think he should be traded if he wants out. I think he would be great in the East. That is what I want. I would love for him to be a Knick or play for the Magic or even Atlanta or uh, or Miami, the Heat. I think either of those teams would be great, and I think they would all be the favorites in the East to win the or be the favorites to win the East and make it to the finals. So that's kind of what I'm rooting for. I think it would be fun and great for the NBA, and I just definitely don't want him going out to the West because there's already way too much talent in the West. We need to try to keep things a little even. So before I leave, though, I would be curious. Let me know what you think. Do you think there is a scenario, a trade that actually kind of makes sense for the Thunder? Uh, I probably still am not going to agree with it, but I am open to any ideas for sure. So let me know what you think. Again, this is Thunder Up Talk, and I will talk to you later. Bye.